Radical! Welcome to this week's episode of the Print on Demand cast. Each week, join the gnarly Travis and Josiah as they provide insight into the print on demand industry and equip you with the totally tubular tools, advice, and strategies you need to achieve success and hopefully have a few laughs along the way. Now on to this week's Totally Tubular show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Print on Demand cast. And you're thinking to yourself, where's the lights? Why does it look so different? All that to come. All of the explanations you're looking for are coming. But first, Travis, happy Monday night, man. How's it going? How's your day? How's things? I have to pretend like I haven't seen you and you're not just behind that door.
Things are good. Yeah, it was another Monday. Had a meeting with you and our operations manager Amy this morning about sales and like what does that mean, and all of those fun things this morning, and did another quote for one of our local clients, and I know you did a bunch of quotes and talked to a bunch of people, and yeah, it's just another day at Make Your Mark Design. Had a good weekend though. Had a lot of fun. Went to on a date night with my lovely wife. We went to this really cool Van Gogh immersive thing down in Denver.
Oh, how was that? I've heard
very
about.
Cool.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah, it's basically kind of a 45-minute thing that they do on a loop, but it's in this room that the projectors are all intertwined and it's all around you and on the floor and everything. And you're just like kind of looking all around, and it was really cool. And she's been getting into painting a lot lately. And so she was really excited about she's heard a lot. She's been listening to a lot of podcasts and has heard a lot about Van Gogh and all of that stuff. And so for her it was definitely, I got husband kudos, for buying those tickets for her. And we went out and had a nice dinner. And then afterwards we went out and had some like chocolate fondue dessert and some drinks, and it was a fun night. Yeah. How was your weekend?
It was good. Not a lot eventful that I can think of. Didn't do a whole lot this weekend. Should be a little bit more eventful. Have some family coming into town that'll be staying with us, and so it's always good to see my nephew and his cousins. His cousin is coming for his third tattoo session, and keep in mind that the first two were 15 hours long. So this kid he's getting a cover-up tattoo done, which is part of the reason why it's taking so long, because his old work was really dark and like really dense, like close together, and it's just really dark. And so when you're doing a cover-up, the only way you can cover up dark is with more black ink, and you have to make it bigger. So he started with a tattoo that's probably a little less than mine. So it's probably from here to here, maybe on his arm. And now it is all the way up his arm. So he has like an entire sleeve that started as a cover up and has morphed into a sleeve. So he hopes getting his third and final session this next weekend. And my nephew will come with him and we'll hang out, and going to see John Mayer on Sunday, so that'll be exciting. I know,
as am I too. Yeah, it'll be fun.
So we will both be at the John Mayer concert in Denver, which will be exciting. And Sunday morning is my first Sunday on the worship team at the church that I'm going to or have been going to. So it's gonna be a very busy day Sunday. I'm gonna be exhausted because I got to get there by 6:30 in the morning, and John Mayer concert will not be over until probably 11:30 or something like that. So that's just the nature of the beast. So looking forward to this weekend. Last weekend was just I door dashed a lot, which I enjoyed. Let's just listen to a podcast and drive. But there's some interesting, I was telling Amy this morning, your ops manager, there was one person that told me to hand it to them in person, but then in all capital letters made a note that they just wanted contactless delivery. And those two things obviously do not coincide with each other. So I text this person and said, are you wanting me to knock on your door? Do you want me to live on your doorstep? Because DoorDash has like, if they do want to live on the door, you have to take a photo at their door and it sends it to the customer or whatever. So I'm like, what do I need to do? And she was like, leave it on the milk crate. take 2 steps back and wait until the Ring doorbell chimes. Then you can go and I will come get my food. And I was like,
Wow.
this isn't a drug drop. Like, it's like I'm dropping ransom money. It's a McDonald's double cheeseburger. I don't understand the national security levels that I'm having to go through here. But yeah,
That's funny.
it's always interesting. So yeah, otherwise, man, it was a good weekend. So
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
for this episode, so we'll get into what the main event is. But first, of course, we can't not have a weekly dad joke.
Time for the weekly dad joke.
All right, Travis. The other day, someone asked me, I don't know what we were talking about, but for some reason it came up in conversation, and it was like a trivia thing. Like, hey, I want you to name 2 structures that hold water.
Hmm.
And I
Okay.
thought about it, and then I was like, well, damn. And that's this week's weekly dad joke. Thank you, Michael Scott. Yeah, I like that one. That one was
I do too.
that one really genuinely popped me and made me laugh when I read it. Some of these I'm like, it's painful. And then there's other ones that I'm like, that's hilarious. And those are usually the ones I try to screenshot and send you copies of. So
I would say 50% of our correspondence via text and Facebook Messenger are just dad jokes back and forth.
yeah,
or funny
it's dad
memes.
jokes or like pictures of whiskey, which is that one, and then
Mhm.
Tom Brady news, and then a Tom Brady meme, and then a dad joke, and then a dad joke, and so you're not wrong. There's lots of dad jokes that happen there. So, man, tell everyone kind of what we have on tap for them for episode 83.
Sure. Yeah. If you haven't already figured it out by the title of the episode,
That's
we're going to
right.
give you a little tour of Make Your Mark Design. Everybody else has gone home. It's Monday evening, and we're just going to kind of take you around all of the different areas, the different departments. Even you're going to even see the kitchen. So brace
That's right.
yourselves. But we're just going to kind of give you that little tour, show you what a production shop looks like. I will just say, and I probably say this a lot during the episode, or I will say this a lot during the episode. I'm sorry. It's just messy. Like, we have a lot of boxes all over the place, and we are kind of in the process of reorganizing some stuff, possibly getting rid of some different, a particular department that'll give us some more room. And we just don't have a lot of room here, and we're kind of on top of each other for what we're trying to do and the volume that we're trying to do. And so there are definitely some better ways to organize your print-on-demand fulfillment facility. I guarantee there would be a different way I would do it if I was setting everything up again in a little bit larger space. But we are where we are, and we're kind of locked in some ways to the way we're doing things. But
Sure.
you'll get a little peek behind the scenes and see that we have not been lying to you for 82 episodes. We actually do this stuff, and it's for real.
What you don't know is we just rent out this space from the actual owner and record. I will say, hopefully, well, first of all, let me say this. This is a YouTube friendly episode.
Right.
We're taking you on a guided video tour. So if you're listening on audio, as always, we appreciate it. And we would just encourage you, if you have Spotify, watch it on Spotify. Video is there. If you have YouTube, if you find us on YouTube, you can watch us there as well. And advanced apologies for production quality or lack thereof. This was a very last minute idea that we had, like, oh, this would be really cool, we should do it. How are we going to do it? And so I literally carried my laptop with me. Travis is holding the mic that I'm talking to right now. I put the webcam on this little thing, and this was what I was doing as I was pointing it at him while he was talking, trying to make sure it was level. So, there might be some moments where you feel like it's the last 40 minutes of the Titanic and you're wondering when the ship's finally going to sink because it's rocking in the ocean. And for that, I apologize. But hopefully we can do more stuff like this in the future. with better equipment, hopefully. So you'll hear it in the main event a couple times, but if you want to support the show, let us know. PayPal, Venmo link, buy a shirt, something. We do actually have a merch store that is still available, printondemancast.com/shop, but that link doesn't work. So why I threw it up there, I don't know. I just realized that I need to remake that bumper. But the coolest thing about this whole thing, this overlay, as you can see the shirts here, some podcast professionals and print on demand multiverse shirts and stuff like that. But we, of course, like Travis and I always say, we do this stuff as a passion project. It's a hobby. And so, the easiest way, of course, to support the show is just by listening and spreading the word. But if you want to help us monetarily support the show and reinvest in equipment and all that kind of stuff, we are always greatly appreciative of that as well. So with that being said, without further ado, we are going to go to this week's main event.
It's about time for the thing you've been waiting for, the main event.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Print on Demand cast. We're trying something new that we don't necessarily have the equipment to do, but the spirit moved us. And so we're going to try and do this the best we can for this week's main event, a tour of Make Your Mark Design.
Yeah. Why not? So let's just jump right into it. We'll start with the sublimation area we're standing in right now.
Let's do it.
So we got a lot of equipment. We're going to kind of, I'm the microphone. I'm the boom guy. So front door, that's what it looks like. So if you ever wondered, well, now you know. That's what a glass door looks like. So anyway, right over here is where we print all the labels for all of our different departments. We've got a couple Rollo printers. Then I have another Rollo in my office if I need a quick, print a quick label or whatever. But this is kind of packing. I guess this is the packing area during the non-busy times of the year. So we can have somebody packing here and we can have somebody packing here if we need to. It really just depends on what we need. Got our bubble wrap. Usually we have some bubble wrap hanging over there, and they, depending on what they're packing, they have maybe different lengths of bubble wrap. They're going to end up in boxes like this if they're first class. Got some priority boxes. These are free, by the way, so if you are shipping things, you can save yourself a little bit of money by using their priority boxes. Some of our FBA shipments will use like stickers like this. I don't know if they help, but we put them on anyway because it makes us feel a little better. So that's kind of the packing area. Now you will see a lot of boxes in a lot of the areas. This is really, we overbought for Q4. And then we got rid of our storage unit and had to bring a bunch of our stuff back in. And then we also acquired another business who had a whole bunch of stock that we also had to bring in. So we're literally bursting at the seams as far as storage. But this is kind of you can't really see it that much because it's kind of behind these rolling carts over here. But a lot of this is like some of our products that our sub-tech will pull each day. We have pallets of 11 and 15 ounce mugs because that's the thing we sell the most. But as far as shot glasses and latte mugs and colored handled mugs and things like that, water bottles, they're kind of in this little area. And then obviously this is kind of the drying / packing area. So you can see some of our designs there. And then we, when they're ready to ship, we've put the label in them and then someone will pack them tomorrow. And then we've got a little fan here that blows on them to keep them cool, just so they don't burn your hand when you take them out of these, which are the mug presses that we currently use. Got a whole bunch of them. They're very adjustable. So you can, cook an 11 ounce or a 15 ounce, or you can do a water bottle in them. You can do a lot of different things, with the different mug presses. And so then you can see all of these this is kind of our area where a lot of our returns from different channels have come back into Make Your Mark Design. Someone doesn't like it, they return it. We put it up here, and then our tech will check against the orders and see if one of these has sold. And so she doesn't have to remake the mug. She just pulls it off the wall and puts it in a box. So I'll stop here for just a second and kind of show you. So here's an 11 ounce mug. We have many, many, many different boxes of these, and then this is a 15 ounce mug. So our tech will take these are basically printed transfers that she prints from back around the corner over here, we have 2 different printers depending on what we're printing. We have one that can print wider, so we do some, I don't have any of our wall art right now, but so if we need to print a large piece, we did those mats that we talked about on the podcast last week. We printed those on the large roll, so we just had one large roll. But when we're doing mugs, we print them on the sawgrass because they're a lot smaller. The ink's a little more, but it's so convenient to have these because you literally can just wrap this around the mug like that, and then you use this heat tape to just secure it to the mug, and that's it. Then you bring it over here, put it in. These will be set for a certain time and temp that we've tested and made sure that works. When it beeps, take it out, and then they'll set it here, peel it here, or they'll take it over to that cooling station that I talked to you about. They'll put it on a cart, roll them all over there, and that's where whoever's packing can come and grab them and bring them to the packing area. It's not the most efficient, but again, we're really dealing with space issues. These are sublimatable patches, so same concept, except you're going to use a flat press. Got a flat press over here that used to be back in the other area. So you can literally create, basically build a huge sheet of circular patches and then tape them all onto that, put them here, boom, however long it takes, time and temp, dependent on the product. But we can make a whole thing of patches. That's where we make metal wall art. Also back here you see, this was how Make Your Mark Design, how For Apparel did mugs. I used to do it like this, literally in a convection oven. Now if you're gonna do it, you need convection. So make sure, I messed up my duties as the boom guy, but make sure you use a convection oven that has the airflow in it, or your mugs won't sublimate properly. Some areas will get hotter than the other, but with that airflow, it'll keep it even. So this is a wrap. So it's the same concept. You put that transfer around the mug, and then you use this wrap that applies the pressure that those heat presses or those clamshell presses would provide. This provides that pressure. And then of course the oven with the airflow provides the heat. It takes a little longer in these, average 12 to 13 minutes, but you can do like 6 at a time of 11 ounce. And we only ever did 4 at a time on the 15 ounce. But that's why you have multiple convection ovens. Pop them out. They're very hot. You got to have water or gloves at least to take them out. You can dunk them in water right after to kind of cool them down. You can also just let them air dry. It takes about one more, like if you have a rack ready to go in, when you pull one out, by the time the second rack is done, usually you can handle those to take off the mug wraps and be done with the ones that came out first. And then you're waiting on the second rack while you're maybe packaging those or doing whatever, or wrapping more to go into the oven. So there's a couple different ways. We got these from For Apparel. We haven't put them in use yet, but maybe we'll do that. This one we just use for water bottles. It's tighter, so like you can see right here, this is a custom water bottle that somebody bought. These come in white and silver. So that's basically what this one's for. It's just another space that she can kind of wrap all of the water bottles and just do them all in one press. And then everything else, travel mugs, regular mugs, all the other things, even the latte and the shot glasses have different elements that you can remove the larger element and put a smaller element that has a taper on it in those other ones. So Josiah, what do you think? What am I missing? I miss anything in this room?
No, I don't think we've missed anything. But this room is probably one of the most busiest, I think, next to DTG.
Yeah.
In this space.
Yeah.
So,
because if we're not doing regular orders, we're probably doing FBA.
Right.
So we're sending our mugs and other people's mugs into Amazon. So we run through a lot of mugs.
Yeah.
Particularly mugs, but we also do some other products. But it's mainly 11 and 15 ounce mugs that we're either boxing for FBA or we're boxing individually to send to customers.
Right. Yep. So I think that do it for the sub room.
Let's show them the printers.
Oh yeah, let's do that. Also, if you're watching this and or listening and you're like, man, they need more production equipment.
Donations accepted, or
We'll put a Venmo up up or something.
So yeah, you can't quite see it, but this is the sawgrass. That's an S400. It's been replaced by an S500. They also we used to in Longmont we had the S800 SG800, again replaced by the SG1000. Just a little bit bigger. You could do wider format stuff, but because we have this 5700 or 570, the F570, you can see how wide it prints. This right now it's just got these loaded in, but it can handle a whole roll. That's, I believe, 22 wide, I think is the, well, it's this wide, however wide that is. So use your imagination. But she'll print all the stuff here, and then kind of distribute it to where it needs to go as far as if it's a mug or if it's a wall art or a patch or whatever it is. That's kind of the process. So coming out of the subroom, and these aren't really super fast. You guys all know what a bathroom looks like. So there's 2 bathrooms in this hall. Then this is, you also probably know what boxes look like. So this is our box room. Have a bunch of different size boxes, all kinds of everything from priority to regular size boxes. And then over here is a bunch of poly bags, different poly mailers, and larger boxes to ship our FBA in. Tape. Just basically this is kind of the supplies room, so nothing too fancy in here, just wanted to show you that. Then we've got a couple bathrooms here, and then over here is a beautiful break room that has other things in it. So and then we should show them our NCAA brackets that we that are all busted.
St. Peter, not the angel. Not the guy guarding the gate, but the team that beat Kentucky.
Yeah, there's a couple of us that are pretty much toast. And then we inherited this from Uncle Mike, but that other shirt idea, just people can kind of write on that whenever they want. And
I want to call attention to the Fawcett Deserved It t-shirt.
might be some infringement there, but somebody had the idea. And
Savage.
that is pretty neat. Yeah, so that's what a kitchen break room looks like.
Yes, kitchen and break room.
Yeah, so okay, so moving on, we're gonna go from this area and we're gonna move to the laser and UV area. Again, please pardon our mess. We have one machine that's down in here. You'll see it immediately. First of all, these are, we inherited these from Uncle Mike. We use these a lot more in Q4. We'll use almost all of these just to fill up with products that are going out every day, and we'll roll them back into the, by the roll up in the back. Right now, we stack them here, and I think we have 2 that we're actually using right now. One's for recycling and one's for up in the subroom that we roll back. But they're really nice, and they do fit through these doors. It's really nice to not have to bring every freaking bag all the way back. And here is our, this is kind of funny. This is where we have our compressor with our incredible soundproofing technology. But it really did do the trick. When we first got in here and we were like, this, I don't know if you can see the floors, but it's got, linoleum square flooring in here. And I'm thinking, man, we put a compressor in here and it's just going to blow somebody's eardrums out. And you do need compressor to run a laser because it pushes the air and it sucks the exhaust, because the exhaust from a laser is actually like creosote. So think about what's going up your chimney. And so you have to exhaust that. So you can see here, that's what these are. These are the exhausts that are going from the 2 helixes. These are both 60 watt helixes. This first one, you can see it's got the attachment that allows it to do, it's a rotary, basically. It's it allows it to do cylindrical objects. And this one just has, the traditional, it's the waffle thing. What is it called? The waffle, I don't know. It's a waffle print, not print. Great thing, yeah. And then we've got some leatherette in there that we use, and you can see, like, here's something that we've done. We've cut out patches from this leatherette, and we'll use it again. We have a template, and then when we do the template, we'll just start here and put the other ones that we want to cut along the way, like that.
Look, there's some leather patches.
Yeah, there's a bunch of leather patches. just different things. Some of these are like, that's an oops. No, that's not an oops. That's fine. It's got a little bit of creosote on it. This is from an order that we just finished and handed off today. I was really hoping that these were test mugs that has that same design, that are really cool, but we were just going to town testing different things on those. Water bottles, leatherette tumblers, all of these things can kind of be done with, this is kind of our test laser area. And then tons and tons of boxes. This is the machine. This is a UV machine. This one is the one that is broken. And we've had a lot of issues with this particular machine. We had a tech out last week. He's probably going to come out late this week or early next week to hopefully finish getting this thing back into order. The one behind it does work, and it'll cycle every once in a while. It's on, I think it cycles every half hour or something, just so the inks don't coagulate. But we do all of our signs. I don't have any of the signs in here. Yeah, that's too bad. This is kind of what we do them on. This is just literally a piece of 12 by 12 melamine that we'll then, I'll show you a frame over here, but we'll do that. We've got a 6 by 6 piece, and then I think under here, yeah, these are the 17 by 14 pieces. And literally, you can do really gorgeous stuff on this, from photographic quality images to just really cool text. And then a couple, nail guns that we hook up to our compressor to attach the frames to it. And then over here, I think we have the frames along with, this one's a one we had to change it. So, but the frames are just in here. You can see how that's, this is the bottom piece that we eventually adhere to the bottom. And then you got your nice 12 by 12. And it's very, I was thinking about this the other day. It's very Etsy-ish because, and it's also, like Instagram kind of brought into the forefront square photos. Like they kind of pioneered that. And that 12 by 12 sells, and we also have a 6 by 6. Those sell amazing. And I think it's because of people are used to seeing that, and that format. So it's a real kind of normal thing. And then our hat press that we use, we have a hat press in here because we do the laser patches, and then we'll adhere laser patches to the hats right here. I don't know, anything else? What do you think?
This is the room that excites me probably the most, because there's so much you can do in here.
Oh, no.
With laser and with the UV, this is the room that I think there's a lot of untapped potential in. But it's awesome, the stuff that comes out of here.
All right, we'll move on to another area in just a second. All right, so this is the little teeny tiny embroidery room that we have. We have two Melco 16, single head 16 thread machines. They're EMT 16s. And this is where we do embroidery. So everything from hats, there's, gosh, I don't know. I guess I have some beanies here that we're preparing these for an FBA for a client. And then this is a local order that we've got going on for Audi Denver. So we do polos, and then some bowling shirts that I'm not sure. I don't think she's started on these quite yet.
I think they're doing those tomorrow.
Yeah, so those are some products that some customers brought in, and then of course these are just hats that she finished after the post office came today, and so these will go out tomorrow. And then so we can do a lot of cool things. This is just a cool little blanket that she embroidered welcome on. We're going to be doing some different techniques with this, with embroidery. We're going to do some puff embroidery. We've done it, but Melody is really, our embroidery tech has really kind of gone through what needs to be done to do that, because you need to use more stitching. It needs more stitches, so it needs to be digitized in a little bit different way, the art. And so she's been focusing on that and learning that, so we can kind of provide that as an option. And then the other thing that she's been working on, and we're excited to offer, is applique. We have a client that does some applique that they purchase at a vendor, and then they're going to send it to us. And then when, in different formats, and then when an order comes in, we will get the garments and perform the applique. It's basically just think of the back of a athlete's jersey, that kind of satin stitch that goes around the numbers. Yeah. That's what applique is. And so we're able to do that with these machines. This is just backing that has to go because the embroidery, you want it to hold on to something. You don't want it to just be holding on to just the garment itself. So you have this backing that goes behind it. That's why if you have a hat right now that's embroidered, go look at it and you'll see kind of white stuff. And that's what this is. It's just something additional for the thread to hold on to when it goes through. So as you can tell on these machines, there's a lot to go wrong. And we've talked about it a lot and talked about how poor Josiah was driven to drink. Because every time one of these little things, breaks, you've got to thread this through 17 different holes and then down through the needle. And I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, I am just very thankful for my embroidery technician. She's amazing. She's very talented and she's very good at what she does. So very thankful for her. But that's embroidery. These are the hoops. So down here, these are just a few. These are our magnetic hoops. And so the hoop basically keeps the product flat. And I'll just kind of show, these are cool. These make it a lot harder to screw up. And I'm going to show my ignorance here, but basically it even says pinch hazard. So I don't feel like I'm qualified to really, there's a warning. But basically these two pieces separate, and there's a high pressure magnet in there. So when you get the shirt laid over, like you're doing a polo or whatever, you put this on there and it stretches the fabric, but not too much to where it'll distort, and it keeps it. Then you insert this into the machine and then it holds it, because basically this machine is just going to move that thing wherever these needles are. And so the needle just does this, and then this moves. This is a hat hoop, a little bit different. But same concept. It's going to lock onto here and hold the hat in the specific way, the way it needs to be held.
This is where they mount the hat.
Yep.
And so this outer ring that you see here is what holds the hat in place, and then they've mounted onto that particular.
That would be on the
Right
machine,
there. Right.
And then they would take that mount and lock it onto that.
Yep.
Lock it on, and then it's ready to run.
Yep.
I love that all of the people that are listening on audio have no idea what you're talking about right now.
Yeah, this is certainly a video heavy. Like, you're gonna want to watch the Spotify or the YouTube,
Right.
because if you're listening to this, you're wondering what the hell we're talking about. So our apologies.
Oh, hi Josiah. How are you?
Good, Trev. What you doing up there?
Oh, just doing some work up here. Let me come down and I'll show you around our DTG area.
All right.
So we were just kidding a little bit, but these actually are really tall shelves, and we have a lot of product on them. So we have they're kind of organized in specific things. We have little unisex shirts this way, premium shirts this way, blah, blah, blah. Little arrows on what each of these things are. But they wrap around over to here. And then, like I was telling you, we overbought for Q4. And so we have tons of boxes of, although this is empty, so that's a good sign. We're going to be reordering that particular size. But yeah, so we have a lot of like women's black shirts in different sizes, a lot of black because that's what we bought a lot of, because that's what we sell a lot of. So a lot of hoodies and things like that. And then in the middle here is kind of like some of the other styles that we don't use quite as much. And so, but we do need to stock a few of them. And then what we have here, if you can show them this, Josiah, this is what we refer to as a Kanban card. If you're familiar with lean manufacturing, kind of Six Sigma stuff, what we do is we put that here, and then when the DTG operator gets here and they pull that final shirt, they pull this Kanban card as well, and then they take this and put it into an ordering queue that then the orderer can scan these different QR codes, and it'll pull up the ordering page so they can then enter in, hey, I need another case of these, or I need another 5, and it tells them where to place the item. So the placement goes 2 above. That's why it was here. And then it says order 2 of these, and Q4 order 4 of these. So it's just kind of, this is our first try at this to see if this would help, and it's helped some. I mean, it's probably helped more than if we didn't have it, but there are some things that we need to probably tweak, perhaps some of our Q4 estimates, and then some things do sell faster than others, and so maybe we need to move the placement to where we need to reorder when it's at 4 on some products instead of 2. So, but it gives us a quick and easy way to order things. So as we move along, again, all of this is old T-shirt that we need to donate. Things that we have plans to donate. We were going to try to sell it, but it's really hard to sell lots of old clothes, or not old, but just blanks, because people they want to buy what they need. They don't want to buy to store. And so we're probably just going to donate this. It came when I bought it from Uncle Mike. So I still have all that stuff. This is where we do vinyl, which this whole area, we're probably going to get rid of vinyl. We only have one client that does it, and we're going to probably transition them to DTG. And what that'll do is it'll free up this wall to where we can put all of these shelves. We bought a bunch of these from What For Apparel. And so we'll be able to have more of these, which are really nice. We're thinking about using them for individual clients. Say one client has a special product that only they fulfill. Well, maybe these 3 baskets are for client B, or client A, and these are for client B, or whatever. And then we can use that to always know where that client's specific things are. Or we can, if they send us something, we had a client that sent us a bunch of hats that you guys had. We could put all those hats in here, and then when they ordered, we're just pulling from the same place. So again, pardon the mess. It's very messy. We have a couple extra heat presses because we've been moving some things around, and we got an extra heat press from What For Apparel. This is our overhead door. This is where we keep our mugs over here. So that's the 11 ounce we're waiting on. We're going to get another pallet of that very soon. And then this on the right is the 15 ounce. This is the melamine for the signs. And then I've got the table saw. I cut the melamine. We have another guy that does our frames for us, but I still have all 10 fingers, so we're good there. But this is kind of a catch-all right now. We have a lot of these that are moving back and forth, and we use to pull things, and it's not super easy because we have so many boxes. Those are all hoodies right there that you see stacked up. And we're trying to go through them, but now we're coming into summer, so it looks like we're gonna might take a while. Okay, so over here, DTG area, you see the 2 F-37s over there. They have been really running like champs. We've had a little problem with the new one. I think it just misses its old home. But it's just been a little finicky. It's like giving us fits, but it still is printed. There's been a few days that we've been able to just run both of them nonstop, pretty much. And then we've got the big Aqueous 56-inch wide belt, and you can see this belt is just massive, and it's perfect for having these 2. When these 2 are running, they're just cruising, and then they just drop into this little basket here, and then take them over to the table to pack them. Got our 2 pre-treat machines here. Right now we're only using this one because we only have 1 tech. When we have 2 techs, we may have just one pre-treating, and we'd really need 3 techs to justify using both pre-treat machines, I would think, because you need 1 tech to just keep up with these 2 machines, and then the other tech could just be pulling and pre-treating. So it depends. Like in Q4, definitely we'll have somebody pulling, somebody pre-treating, and somebody printing. It won't, and maybe even multiple shifts of that. It just kind of depends. But yeah, I would be totally fine getting rid of this guy. It's big, it's bulky. I mean, it doesn't take up a lot of like square feet from the floor, but I can't do anything with this space. If this was just here and that was shelving, it'd be different. But you don't necessarily want to have shelving right underneath where you have pre-treat because it's all going to get nasty. Yeah. So what else, Josiah? What do you think?
I think that is probably, I think over here in this corner, here's where we keep all of there's a bunch of different platens over there. There's a Tuck Locks platen that's there. There's some inks that are over there. So it's kind of where we keep all of the maintenance stuff for the two 3070s. So if you have to have an ink replacement or, anything of that sort, that's where all the head cleaning kits are in that massive box. Which coming from a 2100 when it's like literally like this big, and then the 3070 is like 4 times the size. That was alarming when I first saw it. But yeah, I would say this is probably, I said sublimation was maybe our most busy. Next to DTG, it's definitely, they're pretty neck and neck right now. So, but yeah, it's a good space, and having two 3070s is crazy.
Yeah,
and awesome.
it is. It's going to make Q4 so much better.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I can't wait to see the throughput
Yeah.
we get during Q4 when we've really got this thing optimized and
Yep.
somebody's pulling, somebody's pre-treating, somebody's printing. We're
Yep.
going to be getting just a crap ton of shirts done.
Yep. Should we show them the offices now? We'll wrap this up.
Yeah, we can. All right, so this is my desk, my office. There's just crap everywhere. Yeah, so these are some things that we just got from a client. We're going to try. These are the extra doormat that we had from last week. Usually what'll happen is a local order will get finished and they'll just kind of drop it in here since I have more space than most. But yeah, so this is where the magic happens. Little whiteboard you've seen. A few extra little products and things like that over there in the corner. And then an extra station for somebody to sit at if, you actually sat here, I think, a couple times. I think Uncle Mike sat here. Aunt Jackie has sat here. It's just an extra space for someone to sit as needed. So that's that office. And then this one is pretty messy. This is the bullpen. Yeah, so Tate, production manager. And then, so all of this stuff is like samples. All of this stuff in the corner is things that we inherited from Uncle Mike that were like testable. And we've tested a lot of the stuff, but we just haven't given it the time to go through it and, really decide what to toss and what to, keep for that. Your desk? Yeah, you see those dope monitors. Yeah, that's how he rolls. And then Amy has a laptop. So he's got like these massive monitors. Amy's on a 13-inch laptop she takes home every night.
Yeah, Amy's literally on this.
Yes. Ooh,
Look at that.
that's Inception.
That's not what you want. That's what she works on, and I work on 2 22-inch monitors.
Yeah. And then we've got all these different things around, the office that are goals and strategies. And part of what we're doing right now is going through those and creating kind of to-dos from those different strategies. We had a morning meeting today, specifically talking about sales and onboarding and things like that. Got another one later this week with marketing, and then we're meeting with each of our techs to kind of support that. And there's just a lot of moving pieces when you have, we have multiple companies kind of under one roof. We have our business and our fulfillment, and then we have our customers' fulfillment, then we have deco, and then we have local. And all of those kind of require different levels of hand-holding for the clients. Right. So there's a lot to, processes and getting all those strategies down. But I think that's it.
Yeah.
What else do you think, Josiah?
We have finished the official tour of Make Your Mark Design. And so you're all very welcome for the inevitable motion sickness that you may have experienced, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and you can kind of see where we record the podcast, where we work every day. Just a little more behind the scenes, let you guys know what we're working with, and if you have any questions, let us know. And Fiona, if you've seen something that you like and you buy it, don't blame us. But other than that, I think that's it. I think we're good. And maybe we'll throw to the outro now. Or should we do the outro?
We should just
now.
do the outro now.
Yeah, do the outro now. I'm gonna put
Yeah.
my laptop down. Feeling back in my arm. So,
I'll hold the mic for you.
okay, yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. It's very official. I feel like I'm.
Should I do it up like?
Sort of like an actual boom?
Yeah. Okay. No.
All right, well, guys, thank you guys so much for listening. As always, this is kind of a out of the box episode, a little avant-garde, a little bit. If you're listening, again, you're like, I don't know what in the world is happening. They're talking about a lot of stuff, and I'm driving my car. When you're stationary and not moving, watch the video on YouTube or on Spotify.
Right.
See what we're working with here. See what we showed you. Please don't watch while you're driving. We don't want that to be an accident-causing thing. But thank you for tuning in, and nonetheless, if you guys have any questions, as always, the Facebook group is where you go. Facebook.com/group/print-on-demand-cast. I swear to God, one day those links will be more clean.
Promise.
We'll have a place for you to actually go that's a little more concise. But the Facebook group is where you join the conversation, join the family, join the chat. Let us know if you have any questions. That's a good way to reach out to Travis and I. We just threw a post up there today asking for some questions from you guys, because we want to do another kind of listener mailbag episode, which we really enjoy doing. It's always a lot of fun to hear from you guys and to interact in that way. So let us know if you have any of those. And then Instagram. We're there on Instagram as well. Instagram.com/printondemandcast. You can find us there. YouTube.com/printondemandcast. This is going to be, I can't stress it enough, a very YouTube-friendly episode. So avail yourself of that. If you don't do social media, we understand. You can actually email us at info@makeyourmarkdesign, and we.design. Reach out to us there if you want to, if you have any other questions. And if you're listening to this on Apple Podcast, leave us a 5-star review and let us know how badly you wish you could have seen the things that we described to you in this episode, or if our detail was enough for you. If you're listening on Spotify, you can leave us a review there as well. We're always very appreciative and very, very thankful. Travis, anything else before we wrap up this tour?
I'm just, sorry that we chose to do this when our shop is kind of really messy. It's just dirty. It's very cluttered, and I'm not super, proud of it right now.
It was,
but it's real.
It's used. It's
used.
It's lived in.
It is.
Right?
It is lived in.
So thank you guys so much. Until next week, for Travis, I'm Josiah. We'll see you right here next week on the Print on Demand Cast.
See ya.
Hey babe, thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Print on Demand Cast. We hope you enjoyed the Totally Tubular Show. If you got a question or a suggestion for the show, send Travis and Josiah an email at info@printondemandcast.com. Want to be wicked nice? Take a minute to rate and review the show on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to subscribe now so you don't miss next week's episode. See you next time, for sure.